I let ChatGPT buff jumper and it made it impossible.
That timing's actually impossible. Wow, this is literally impossible.
I have 1 hour to beat this level, and if I fail, I'll be live streaming this level until I beat it. All right, let's ask ChatGPT to buff jumper. Okay, so the first part, ChatGPT said to tighten key jumps to 2 to 3 frames. I think what would be pretty funny is if we added a triple spike just for the love of the game at the beginning. And I want to make this jump a lot harder than it usually is, so I'm gonna put another triple spike right here. And then to make this jump harder, I'm gonna put a mini spike right here and a mini spike right here. And then I'm gonna just keep putting spikes up here, so you have to click later than you usually would. And then I'm gonna take one of these pillars and put it down here as well. And then I'm gonna bring this block right here down here. By the way, guys, 90% of you guys aren't even subscribed, so make sure to subscribe so we can get to 2,000 subscribers. Okay, and then I'm gonna put a little mini spike right here. I have a feeling that this is gonna get really hard by the end. I'm gonna put a mini spike right here, and then we're 10% through the level. So for the next 10%, ChatGPT said to include some late hit orbs. And I don't know if you can tell, but there are only 2 orbs in this area. So what I'm gonna do is actually create my own orbs. Okay, I'm gonna actually put an orb right here. So there's no way for you to click on this, and you actually have to click up to here. And then you have to take an orb to get back down. And then I'm gonna put one of these in here as well. So that way you have to go through this portal and then click the blue orb to get back down. And then these 2 orb timings, I'm gonna make sure they're pretty hard. So I'm gonna take one of these pillars again, copy and paste it. Then I'm gonna do this twice. I'm gonna put one of these sort of timings right here. And then as you jump onto this block down here, I'm gonna make it a yellow pad into a pink orb. So basically what happens is you have to click the pink orb after you go on the yellow pad in order to slow down your momentum. I'm actually gonna flip this spike right here and make this a blue orb. I'm gonna make sure that this timing is still somewhat hard. And then I'm gonna put a green orb inside the block. So you have to click this blue orb, click this green orb to get back up here. And then I'm gonna make it so you can't fall down on this block and that you have to jump and click this pink orb. And I'm gonna try to make it a pretty hard timing. Okay, and then I'm gonna add some mini spikes here and then make this final timing pretty hard. And with that, we are 20% through the level. For the next 10%, ChatGPT asked us to make the ship sections tight. But as you can see right here, we're not a ship exactly at 20%. So we're gonna start this ship part early. I'm gonna make this a really tight ship section. I'm gonna start by putting a spike here. And then I'm actually gonna continue by putting a bunch of spikes here. And then to make sure you don't go too high up, I'm gonna copy and paste this object right here and then scatter a couple spikes around. And then we're gonna make it impossible to escape by putting another one of these guys right up here. We're gonna copy and paste this guy again and bring him down here. Put a couple spikes at the bottom, copy and paste this guy again, bring him up here. And then we're gonna move on into the ship part. I'm gonna take a couple of these saws and make the ship gameplay super annoying. And then I'm gonna copy and paste these spike structures and then scatter them across where I want them to be. So I have all these spike structures in place. I'm just gonna fill the gaps using saws. And now we are 30% through the level. For the next 10%, ChatGPT said to include a short wave microsection. So we're gonna turn into a mini wave right here. And then we're gonna use these blocks as a gap actually. And then again, we're gonna raise all these structures up. And this time we're gonna use these as our gaps. Okay, so now we have all these cool little structures in place. For when we go upside down, to make these gaps even harder, is I'm gonna actually put a mini spike on these gaps. That way these gaps are like way harder. Oh yeah, this looks hard. We're actually gonna keep it a wave here still, but now we're gonna go into a big wave. And we're gonna make sure you have to stay within this cube part still. We're gonna copy and paste this slope thing right here. We're gonna copy and paste all these structures so you can't escape. And then we are 40% through the level. So for the next 10%, we have to add a gravity portal in one ball or ship area. I think I'm gonna start it off with the ball actually. I think a ball would be really cool. So we're gonna force going into the ball right here. We're gonna make it so you have to click up onto this block. I'm gonna make it so you have to come back down to a ship over here. And we're gonna make it a straight straight fly. And I think a cool idea would be having to click an orb to go up into the coin route actually. And then we could have a green orb right here so we get back down. And then we can actually turn it back into a ball here. And what we're gonna do is we're also gonna put a blue orb so you have to click this to get back. And then as we come back down to this ball, I'm gonna make it so you have to click immediately up onto here. I'm gonna go back into a ship part here and put a pink orb that'll lead us to straight flying through here. And then after you click this pink orb, I want it so you have to get down to the ground here. We're gonna do the same thing again, a ball into this orb, and then we're gonna make it so you have to click here onto one of these, and then we're gonna make it so you have to click here, and then we're gonna do this. This makes it so you have to click twice, so you have to double click on these. And then we're just gonna leave it chill for a second here before going back into a ship. And we're just gonna make it a good old straight fly. Put a couple spikes here and there. And then we are 50% through the level. Okay, the next part is micro spacing. This is again just tight timing, so we're gonna go back to the cube here. And that means we're gonna make everything a super buff triple spike. Everything's just gonna become a triple spike, guys. We're gonna make this timing also harder. To make this part harder, we're just gonna put a bunch of these spikes right here. We're gonna put a mini spike right here, and then that is 60% of the level done. For the next 10%, we're gonna be adding obstacles that are equal to 10% more than the original account. So this means we're just gonna be adding a bunch of saws and orbs to really bulk up the level. So I guess we can start by doing this right here. We add 2 spikes. We're just gonna keep adding a bunch of these mini spikes right here. And now for the ship part, I was thinking just copy and paste a bunch of these. This is really gonna bulk up the density. For the next bit, we're gonna go back into a big ship right here. Okay, so we're gonna just actually put a bunch of random orbs around and then make gameplay to it. So it's gonna be pretty memory based. So I'm kind of just building gameplay around this, as you can see. I'm gonna show you guys the route that I'm taking. Yellow orb, pink orb, come down here, pink, yellow. So pretty simple stuff. We're gonna continue with the fake orbs here. So we're gonna make this a yellow orb that you actually don't click. And then I'm gonna keep scattering fake orbs around, but except some of them are gonna be real. For example, this blue orb right here, I'm actually gonna make it so you have to click onto the block up here. And then I'm gonna include a couple of blue orbs that you have to click, but only the final one's gonna work, obviously. And then we're gonna make this triple spike super buff. We gotta add the fake orbs, you know, except some of them are gonna be real. Like this one right here is gonna be real because that's gonna be blocked off. And then we're 80% through the level. Okay, so for the next 10%, we're gonna have to sync rework / speed tweak. We basically just gotta mess with the speed a little. That's gonna mess with the sync a little, which is gonna be fun for me, but who cares? I think the first thing we do is just we do something simple like this, right? So we can have these little speed tweaks here and there, and then we can continue to make some hard timings. So we're gonna take these blocks right here and make this a hard cube timing, and then we're gonna copy and paste this speed change above this. And then actually I want to go mini right here. We're gonna put another yellow orb right here so you can click onto this block. And then to give us that little boost while we're mini, we can actually use these speed changes to our advantage by going like this. See? And then with that, we are 90% through the level. For the last 10%, ChatGPT said to just polish it up. What I'm gonna do instead is just switch this back to normal and leave it as it is. But we're still gonna make the last click somewhat hard because who doesn't love a hard last click? So I'm gonna copy and paste this spike right here. Then I'm actually just gonna move it halfway. Okay, and then that's the last click. And that is jumper completely buffed by ChatGPT. So now what I'm gonna do is start a timer for 1 hour in 3, 2, 1. First things first, I'm gonna go straight into practice mode so I can actually learn the level. I feel like once I've got all the hard timings down, we should be good. The beginning is probably the hardest part, so I think if I can just get consistent at this, I'm good. This entire level is actually really hard, I can't lie. We're good, okay? Let's start from the beginning. Okay, 9%, new best, straight away. Okay, 11%, new best. Oh, dang it. I didn't click the pink orb. It's fine though. Oh, okay, 15%, but I got a little further that time, so that's good, that's good. Oh, that timing's actually impossible, wow. No, okay, 18%, but we finally got past that clip. Oh, 24, okay, we got to the ship part. We almost got past the hard part of the ship too. Okay, we're closing in on 50 minutes, 24% already, so off to a good start. Oh, 33, okay, wait, I'm cooking. Oh, 31, okay, but at least we're getting consistent at the beginning, so I'm happy about that. What? Oh my God, there's no way I died to the easy part. Bro, dude, I'm getting so inconsistent. No, we're closing in on 40 minutes as well. I need to go into practice mode and practice that, I can't lie. I might have low-key made this wave part impossible. 35 minutes left, I could be cooked because that wave is like really hard. Oh, dude, 24. No way, bro, 31 again. Bro. Okay, we're a little past 30 minutes here. I have plateaued at 30%. I literally have not gotten past 33. Bro, I literally can't. Bro, 24 is impossible, dude. No way I died at 31 again. Oh, 35. Okay, finally a new best, but we don't have that much time left. New best, but we've only got around 20 minutes left. I'm hoping I can get past that wave at least. Bro, what? No, 31 again, bro. No, 33. Okay, we're under 20 minutes now, and I'm dying where I shouldn't be dying. 34, bro. Those wave clicks are so hard. Bro, 24 again, man. Bro, I literally can't with 24%. This is literally impossible. Okay, we're under 15 minutes now. Oh my God, dude. 24 is... No, 38, bro. Okay, wait. Okay, 10 minutes left. I finally got past the wave, though. 24... 35, whatever, reasonable death. I low-key made that wave so impossible, I can't lie. Bro. 39, okay. We got 7 minutes left, 39%. And after that, it's just easy. 24, bro. Are we serious? 33. Closing in on 5 minutes. Bro, 24 again. Literally the worst part of the entire level. Bro, 24 again. I literally can't. Oh my God, 39. Okay, but that was a little further. We got 3 minutes left. 24. 35. And that is a timer. Done. I have one last attempt. Okay, 4%. Yeah, I guess I suck. I have lost to ChatGPT yet again. Like the video, make sure to subscribe, and I'll try to beat ChatGPT again.